normal speed.
Okay.
I'm Mike Logan.
And I'm Tarq.
And this better be good. Yeah, good enough.
Close enough.
It's the...
Sorry, I kept getting distracted by this very repetitive song in the background that we're listening to in the lobby here.
You know what it is. It's the weekly-ish podcast. It used to be a weekly podcast, but it's the podcast where we review a movie before seeing it, then review it again after seeing it. This week, I'm joined by one of my longtime friends, Tarq, and we are seeing Megalopolis.
Megalopolis.
That's right, Francis Ford Coppola's cautionary tale of America's downfall based on the fall of Rome and his zany antics, I guess.
And a cautionary tale potentially on making your own crazy vision of a movie and see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm a
We'll
busy,
see.
I'm a busy guy these days, but it's going to take. It would definitely take a movie of this magnitude to pull me out for the podcast, to pull me out of my busy schedule. Because anybody who doesn't know the history of this film, the things that went into it. The movie cost about $125 million, financed completely by Francis Ford Coppola himself. He ended up mortgaging one of his vineyards to fucking finance this film.
I bought some of his wine.
Oh, there you go. See? And the reason he did this, for anybody who doesn't know, is so he could have absolute, total, 100% creative control over the entire product. People who don't know how films work generally, you've got this film studio, you've got producers, you've got directors, you've got writers, you've got everybody involved. And everybody wants a piece, and everybody wants to tell you how to do things. And the producers and studios definitely want to tell you how to make a movie. And that's when you get bad movies, and people say studio interference and things like that. Tarq, can you think of, what's one movie you can think of right now that is a perfect example of studio interference?
That Fantastic Four movie that
Josh
infamously had a billion reshoots, a horrible wig. They put him in a black out room with a couple cargo containers to redo a couple scenes that were just thrown in there. Apparently, I didn't even watch it. I just heard so much about it. I didn't watch it. I just heard so much about it. I probably should go watch a.
Don't. It's really bad. Don't watch it. It's really bad.
No.
Yeah, Josh Trank very famously distanced himself from the film after it came out because of all the producer and hold on one second.
They just hijacked the whole.
Hold on a second. Oh. The trash can just got rolled so dramatically, comically slowly by us, right in front. They could have gone. And anyway, they could have gone up the stairs and around.
They're just doing their job.
Yeah, I get it. We're here at closing time. Closing. Anyway, we're getting distracted. So, the reason he financed the film himself was so he could make this movie in his own, however he wanted to. The problems that come with that is producers usually are there to kind of reel in directors and their vision and say, well, this is maybe a little too out there. Maybe test audiences won't like that. Maybe not do that. Maybe not do this. I guess the big question for me to you, Tarq, what do you expect from this movie?
Well, I can always expect Adam Driver to give some kind of good performance, so we're going to start there. And I'm wondering what kind of crazy personal messages he's going to put into the script as a director, and is probably heavy in the writing, and just what set pieces did he probably have in his dreams that they spend an enormous amount of budget on. You're like, that was neat, but did that help the movie? Did you spend, because you had a vision of seeing this and you said 3D artists, go make this, go make whatever crazy instead of shooting it on set somewhere and changing a couple little buildings, is it going to be an entire just insane everything?
I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be an insane, it's genius tours, Francis Ford Coppola. You can't see, but I'm doing heavy quotes. Genius tours, like Francis Ford Coppola. You need somebody to reel in those ideas, because somebody like that, some of the ideas are genius, but a lot of them aren't, probably. Yeah. But I think, I don't know what I'm expecting. I normally can predict, anybody who's listened to any of these episodes knows, I can go into a movie and I'm they're going to be that, they're going to be this, blah, 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 blah. But I have
deliberately not watched any trailers beyond the first couple seconds.
Even if you did watch any of the trailers, they tell you absolutely nothing about this film.
I kind of like that then. Unless the movie ends up being about nothing, is just boring. The biggest sin it could do would be boring.
That is definitely the biggest sin. With $125 million and a director like him,
and
to
the
be
actors.
boring would be so insulting.
And the actors involved too. These aren't bad actors.
No, not at all. I mean, you got an amazing cast. You got, like you mentioned, Adam Driver. We've got me stalling to actually look it up. Giancarlo Esposito, Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf, John Voight, Jason Schwartzman, Lawrence Fishburne,
Yeah.
I could go on. I could go forever, baby.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman.
He called in some favors.
I mean, he really did. Chloe Fineman, that's a newer one too. I mean, he's got an amazing cast for this. I'm scared. I'm scared of
should be.
I'm scared of, in a comical way. Like, I'm not actually terrified of the movie, but I'm just worried that if this movie, it did not do well at all.
Yeah.
It is going to be I
don't even know if I'll be able to buy tickets for this weekend. I'm not even sure it'll still be in theaters.
I seriously doubt it. Honestly, I don't think a couple of.
I was starting to get worried that like if we don't see it now, we're not going to be able to see it.
But unfortunately, we do. I was saying, what was the thought I was just saying?
I don't know. Were you having a thought?
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing that can happen for you?
Boring. Yeah, whatever.
Don't worry about it.
I'll fix it in post.
I'll fix it in post.
We'll edit all of this out, definitely.
How much time we got, anyways?
We've got about a minute. Unfortunately,
Okay.
I got here very late because I just came for an open mic, so it's going to be a short first half. I know you guys like the nice deep dives into it. We're not going to be able to get too deep into it before we see it. But I mean, to be fair,
what is there to
I
dive
don't know
into?
much about it.
We don't know yet.
There isn't much to dive into.
All I know is I'll never financially recover from an IMAX ticket price.
So you're about to hear the trailer for the movie. We're going to go see the movie, and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
I was talking to them.
Don't let the now destroy the forever.
One filmmaker has always been ahead of his time.
Time stop! Go.
Now, from visionary writer and director Francis Ford Coppola, comes an event nothing can prepare you for.
Imagine today's society as a branch of civilization about to reach a dead end. Is this way we're living the only one that's available to us? My plan is a city that people can dream about.
Megalopolis.
What about those standing in your way?
Power the people!
Who like it the way it is?
People don't need dreams. People need help now.
Don't let the now destroy the forever.
We're in need of a great debate about the future. Enjoy the show.
1, 2, 3. Yippee yay.
There's still so much to accomplish, but is there time? Go.
Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis.
All right, we are back. It probably sounds really intimate now because we're sitting in my car, Carly Rae vehicle, the CRV.
Well upholstered.
We just sat through, and I mean sat through Megalopolis. Holy shit. Before we dive deep into it, obviously anybody who's listened to the show before, you guys know how we do this. I'll give you a little spoiler-free version without any spoilers. Although, to be fair, if we did spoil anything, you wouldn't even know what the fuck is happening in this fucking movie. Because, like, but at any rate, spoiler-free, and we'll let you know when it's a spoiler section. I'm just going to dive right into this.
Yeah, go for it.
This has got to be one of the least polished turds I've ever seen on film.
So, when I mentioned earlier, the biggest sin it could do was be boring. Oops.
Hella boring. So incredibly boring.
If I wasn't constantly surprised about how bad something was at the time in a new, interesting way, or Aubrey Plaza being very hot for a moment and then getting me back to the screen, I probably would have fallen asleep, but shock and dismay kept me awake.
That I mean, I kept repeating in my own head over and over again. I kept saying the phrase gratuity for gratuity's sake. Like, I just kept saying it over and over again because this movie, it's gratuitous. And I don't mean like gratuitous in like, oh, hide your kids. Like, it's gratuitous in the way of there's a lot of sex in it, which is fine. I've seen Eyes Wide Shut. That makes sense in a movie like Eyes Wide Shut or Nympho, which is literally a film about sex, also starring Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
But to have Francis Ford Coppola, and we're going to dive into his past when we get into this conversation. If anybody doesn't know about Francis Ford Coppola, he's got a very shady track record of being a person. He's been accused of a lot of terrible things.
Oh my!
And when it comes to being a womanizer, and if you notice that very on the nose fucking line in the movie, but he's got a very bad reputation when it comes to being a bad man toward women, including on the set of this film. Actually, a lot of allegations came out that he was apparently making people uncomfortable on set. And
maybe he realized he was wasting his money. It was just getting weird.
I mean, when you watch the movie, to me, I couldn't help but feel like every single commentary was just, this is just one man's thoughts on the world put onto a screen with no filter and nobody else to say, hey, maybe dial this back, or maybe other people don't think this way. It just felt like a very big, like, he's been ridiculed, not ridiculed, but kind of blackballed from Hollywood for such a long time. And every dialogue seemed like it was designed to prove that he's a good guy.
Yeah, and there's some points I'm going to make once we get to the spoiler section, but there's a lot of pontificating, and it felt like a blend between, as you're saying, an older man just portraying his worldview and just trying to just hammer it in, but it also kind of felt like it was blended in with one of those 3 or 4 a.m. drunken college philosophical, like middle, like the dawn is coming soon. You're still, it's after party. Whoever's left on the couch talking, still drunk from last night.
Really good description.
And you're just, your brain is just fried, but you continue to pontificate like what you just learned in philosophy course recently.
Yes. Philosophy 101 is definitely like, there are no big new ideas being presented in a film that pretends like it's presenting big new ideas.
Yes.
Which I think is a good transition into the spoiler section. Because it's going to be hard to describe this film without spoiling it, because there are a lot of just batshit crazy things that happen in it. And it's going to be a disservice to you as a listener for us to keep trying to be spoiler free. So if you want to go see this movie, don't ever go see this movie. Don't pay money to see this movie.
Yeah.
Like if it comes on TV, put it on in the background and do your laundry or something.
I wouldn't put this on my worst enemies as a torture.
I wouldn't watch this on a plane.
The plane would never feel like it landed. It just
there are numerous times in the film, and I just felt like, and like I said, spoiler free. Turn away if you don't want to be spoiled. We're not going to spoil the movie for any of the things that need to be spoiled. So turn away, but just keep listening. You're not going to go watch this movie.
Don't. Just listen to this. Save your 2.25 hour of your life.
So the movie, I'm not going to try to explain the plot. I'm not even going to begin to try to explain it. I'll just give you the cliff notes of what the movie's kind of about.
Yeah.
It's a modern, quote unquote, retelling of like the fall of Rome.
Correct.
From the vantage point of this is America that still has a bit of old school, like, I mean, not old school, like really old Roman ideologies that are still in place.
Including the occasional Latin. Just
there is occasional Latin. There was Latin in one scene for no reason.
Juan Carlo Esposito, whatever his name is.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo just started the scene speaking to his daughter in Latin, and we're like, this is about an hour and 45 plus minutes into the movie.
It's a long time to introduce a dead language.
And yeah, okay. But it's the fall of Rome, and they have all the people, all the names of all the major players at the fall of Rome.
Yeah, so the film, it's Adam Driver stars as a sort of an architect / city planner who has some sort of mystical magical power to stop time that is absolutely never explained in this film, which is gotta be one of the biggest crimes in any movie I've ever seen, because the entire campaign of this film is like this fantastical world where he can manipulate time, and every trailer was all of the good scenes in the movie.
Yes.
You haven't seen the trailer yet.
Nope.
But the trailer, if go watch the trailer, that's all, any good parts of this movie are in that trailer.
Okay.
And the whole budget is in the trailer. Like, there's a scene where the film, I'm not even beginning to explain the movie anymore, but he wants to rebuild New Rome as New York is, or whatever the city is
Yes.
called now. He wants to rebuild New Rome into a utopia, and doing so by using this new material that he created. They don't explain how he created this new material or how this new material, it's kind of like,
Atlas Shrugged and the metal that was involved in that is very similar to this, where it's like, it's a new metal, will change the world. There's just no references to John Galt or Ayn Rand anywhere else in there. But it felt very much like, yes, I've created this thing. It's mystical. It's powerful. It'll change industry and the world. That's it. That's all you need to know. It's unobtainium, but it's obtainable.
Roger Ebert coined the term MacGuffin, which is a term that describes a plot point that moves the movie forward, but has no explanation whatsoever of what it is.
Does
It's
it
just
move
a
the
thing.
movie forward?
Well, in a normal movie, it does. It's like,
In this case.
Mission Impossible 3, I think, is a great example of them literally just having a
briefcase.
a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Because it's called the rabbit's foot in the movie Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah.
The whole point of the film is Philip Seymour Hoffman wants to get the rabbit's foot. It's a weapon that they literally say they do not know what it does, but it has the power to change the world. They say it the whole film. And that is the prime example of a MacGuffin, because they're all battling for it, and it makes sense in the context of that film. In this film, nothing makes sense, which makes everything so irritating to me.
Yes, including clocks that are 20 feet wide, that aim at the sky, that no one can see, that they stand on for reasons.
I love somebody listening to this trying to piece together what we're describing.
We both had strokes, and this is just the end of our lives as our brain dies, as we try to describe this, I feel like.
Yeah.
Let's
talk about, okay.
Yeah.
What's three things you liked about this movie?
Aubrey Plaza's scenes.
Okay. Aubrey Plaza is extremely seductive and sexual and sexy in this movie. And if you ever wanted to see Aubrey Plaza's breasts, you get to see them among a lot of other stuff about her.
The guys by us in there were laughing too, and we were chuckling at a certain points with John Voight just being wildly weird and different, and just like it was a moment of levity most of the time for me.
He was a bright spot in the film.
Yeah. And then actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf, who I did not recognize at first, with the drag and all the other stuff he was wearing in the beginning of the movie and all the makeup on his face, and he's getting a little, not like heavier, but he looks a little different than the last time I saw him in a film. And I did not place him until he took the makeup off, and I was like, wait,
Shia LaBeouf's in this movie.
That's Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, he was interesting in the movie too. Everybody in that film felt like they were acting in a different movie.
Yes.
Like it to me, it just seems like, which comes down to just awful directing. Like, it could be possible that Francis Ford Coppola is an old fuck who can't direct films anymore. Because this movie was just, and it's not just down to like the plot not making sense, or like,
definitely not,
the CGI being god awful in some points and actually passable in other points.
The camera work was often flat and boring.
Yep. Uninspired, like really uninspired. That last scene too. Jesus Christ. There's a scene, the only scene that I think that movie, the only way you would get me to watch this movie, not knowing what it is if you just showed me the scene where he goes to Atlantic City, which is a very beautiful scene where he drives through, I guess, the old Atlantic City, which is now a crumbling Romanesque looking shell of itself with tumbling giant statues that are also weeping as they tumble. This sounds crazy, but it's literally the most beautiful part of the film, and it actually looks really good. And I'm pretty sure he blew most of the budget on that scene, because it's the one scene where I was like, this looks really good.
Yeah.
And I thought that idea was fantastic, which brings me to my biggest complaint about this movie. It's a bunch of disconnected ideas.
Yes.
Like, it's just a bunch of set pieces.
It's like the tone, the filming of it. So at the very beginning, we start with our Caesar character, Adam Driver, out on the edge of a building in the least convincing potential suicide jump. Like, I felt 100% like he was on the stage. There was nothing about that first scene that felt like, oh, he's going to jump off a skyscraper. It didn't feel like
the
a skyscraper.
Chrysler building, too.
Yeah, the Chrysler building. It didn't feel real.
Right.
Like, it didn't feel real. Like, it felt like it's unreal in a bad way. That's like, this is just laughable. It's like a made-for-TV movie feel for the filming, but David Lynch is involved, and also Tommy Wiseau.
Oh God.
Because like the dialogue scenes are super clunky.
Mhm.
There's only occasional times where people actually have chemistry between each other in a scene. Like most of the time, they're just spouting lines. Oh yeah, that was the other movie I wanted to involve. No shame on it, but it's like they did that. They read Roman history. They read some philosophy. They saw Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo
Romeo plus
DiCaprio, and they're like,
Juliet.
we'll take this old school thing and feel. We'll put some clothes that are kind of old style but new style because they're like pseudo tunics, togas around.
Mhm.
Like a lot of the clothing was very like subtly or not subtly like Roman era, but
Yeah.
still modern suit.
A lot of cloaks and capes.
Yes.
And a lot of, this is a weird nitpicky thing, but it bothered the fuck out of me and it irritated me the more I noticed it. For some reason, everybody takes their jackets on and off the whole fucking film. This sounds like a nitpick to you as a listener, but if you watched this movie, you would understand, and I'm not exaggerating, at least 30 fucking times. A character will just be standing in a room, they'll have a cape or a shawl or a throw or something on, and they'll just dramatically whip it all off and then throw it on a chair or throw it on the ground or throw it to their assistant. I'm not kidding you guys. Like,
Was his little cloak show, Adam Driver, on the catwalk over like the model city near the beginning?
right. Oh,
Where he's
right.
hiding under his cloak and being
Right.
weird. Were we supposed, I mean, it made it seem like it was supposed to be comical, but we were so
Yes.
confused and it was shot so poorly
Yeah.
that like we had no idea what was really happening.
What I think was they were trying to show that he's like a charismatic person, and that's why people liked him. So he's trying to be playful with like he walks into this architecture scene where they're trying to like present this Megalopolis, which by the way, I guess that's the plot of the movie. He's trying to build Megalopolis, which is like this weird ass. It looks like the 3D renders of everything Dubai is doing right now.
Yeah.
Like that's what they built in this. That's a little bit Francis Ford Coppola is just commentating very sloppily on what's happening to our actual world right now.
Yes.
With his commentary on politicians and big banks and Dubai, like and debauchery and the way men are treated who get canceled. Like these are all really not subtle jabs he took the whole fucking film.
Oh, don't forget the one thing you did forget about during the movie and remembered suddenly.
Oh, yeah.
Which was the very subtle CCP Soviet Union era nuclear device floating in
It
space.
was a satellite. It was a
That
satellite.
satellite that was named Carthage. If you saw
Was
it
it?
real quick. So like a reference to the Punic Wars, maybe causing problems for the Romans, but like it just went and just like this, and it's just like there's a little thing, and if you
It's
didn't see it,
weird.
and I was like, are we gonna go to war with Carthage because of the satellite? That's the Soviets falling out of the sky.
Do you know why that satellite's in the movie? It was literally just to kill Dustin Hoffman's character. That's the only reason it was in the movie.
But we didn't see him die until like half an hour
But you find out
after.
afterward that he died because of the satellite. That's the only reason that satellite exists as a character, was to kill Dustin Hoffman.
We'll make a giant hole in the ground for the rest of the Megalopolis stuff.
That is true. It did help
Yeah,
clear the way for
cleared some
Megalopolis.
room. Express bulldozing.
But yeah, using a falling satellite from space to excavate an area where you're going to build a new utopia is a really fever. The guy was just on a lot of drugs and came up with this fucking movie. Like,
Yeah, someone takes his OxyContin meds away or something. Jesus.
it's what I imagine Kanye West dreams about. This movie.
Yes.
I don't know. Tarq, let's try to rate this movie. So my rating scale, have you listened to the show before? No. Okay.
It's been a long
The
time.
rating scale is it's normally you give it 1 or 10. Actually I think 5. We'll do 5. 1 or 5, between 1 and 5.
Okay.
And then you just name a random thing from the film as the rating scale. So for example, you would say like if you just saw Do the Right Thing,
Mhm.
you'd say, I'll give that 4. There's no crying in baseballs out of 5. You know what I mean? That's how you do that. I really just wanted to sneak in a Tom Hanks.
Do I have to use a quote from the movie? I can't remember
I'll
anything
go
from
first.
the movie.
I'll go first. That way you can have time to think about it. I want to give this movie, and I'm only giving it this score, and I'm not giving it a 0 only for the scene where they go to Atlantic City. Because I
Yeah.
see the potential for what he wanted to do with this movie. He just sucked at it, like really badly. I don't care. Like, I'm never going to work with fucking Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
I would give this movie one arrows to the asshole.
Dang it, that was one of my favorite scenes.
One arrow to the asshole out of 5.
With the tiny mini bow.
He looks
It's
so
the little
comical
baby bow.
shooting it. Like,
This Cupid bow of death.
I'm supposed to believe that old-ass, decrepit John Voight, who's playing an old-ass, decrepit man this whole film, is able to pull enough pressure out of a fucking bow and arrow that I'm not kidding is the size of his hand, pretty much, to pierce through Aubrey Plaza's chest plate and kill her instantly. I'm no physics expert, but you need a lot more bow.
Which is crazy to me because, I mean, I know he was supposed to be Robin Hood in his costume, and that's why he had the bow.
Right.
But they already used guns in this movie. He could have just had a gun.
Well, he's Robin Hood, though.
It could have had like arrows painted on it or something, or shot arrows. I don't care. Just something a little more modern than it. Oh, okay. Anyways, is it my? Should I?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give this. I'm probably gonna have to give this a 1 also, just because that's how much money they spent. $1 is how much money they spent on those title cards that kept coming up. That you probably forgot about that for
That
a
looked
second
like
too.
Life of Brian.
That
like,
looked
that's-
worse than Life of Brian.
Also, how can you choose to narrate a movie sometimes?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't narrate. Lawrence Fishburne was the narrator of this film and also the driver of Adam Driver in this movie. But he narrates the movie very sporadically. And I also want to point out, Francis Ford Coppola might be a fucking racist. Because, like,
All the immigrants are brown people and Asian people?
every immigrant is not white, and every servant is black. Just want to point that out.
Yep.
It's like,
Although Lawrence Fishburne is a historian / servant.
is he? He claims he is at one point.
Yeah,
but
he
other than
says
that-
he's a historian, and I'm like, is that his job, or is this like a fourth wall break, or where are we? What is
At one
happening?
point, when the fucking there's a scene, we're rambling at this point.
I know.
There's a scene. I'm telling them. I don't care.
I have a way I want to end it though.
Okay.
I found my words.
Here's where I like figured out. Okay, I hate this movie because I was on the fence literally until the last like 20 minutes. Like I was on the fence. I didn't hate it.
Holy
I kept
shit.
finding reasons to be like, okay, well that could be something. That could be good. I get what he's trying to do there. It was when there was 2 scenes, and one was when they get the mayor out, Giancarlo Esposito, out of town to like on this escape subway thing because everybody's fucking rioting and shit. And they want to kill the mayor because
Like Kim Jong Un's private escape train that he
Yeah.
has in North Korea.
Yes, that's exactly what they modeled it after. And inside the train, the conductor, I don't know, security guy goes to tell him, "Sir, there's this developing story right now." And after he says it, he looks right at the fucking camera and then looks off camera at somebody else's for another cue and then looks right back at Giancarlo Esposito. Fucking take another take. Like, take another take. Like, that was when I was like, you know what? This motherfucker's lazy, dude. There's also a scene at the very end where Giancarlo Esposito's holding a baby while giving a speech, and then he turns to Adam Driver to say something, and the baby headbutts him. And he keeps talking. Get another fucking take. Like, what are we doing, man? You have $125 million. You've got the time to say, hold on. That baby just headbutted Giancarlo Esposito. Maybe we should take that again. That was when I absolutely just fucking despised the film.
In the end, right after that, or right around that exact, I guess part of the same scene, they especially lost me when they glorified Caesar taking power of Rome effectively by Adam Driver's character having a positive ending for reshaping the world.
Yeah.
He is Julius Caesar. He's not a good guy.
You should Google Julius Caesar. He's not a good guy.
Yeah, he became one of the first dictators of history, pretty much, as you see him from.
But I mean, maybe that's the commentary. he's
I
speaking
think
of.
that's his commentary.
I just feel like there's not a redeemable character in this entire fucking film. It's like watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but never laughing.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand this movie. I don't want to understand this movie because I feel like if I understood this movie, I should kill myself. Like, that's just like...
Yeah. It's about 20 reports on different philosophical ideas just stitched together.
Yep. Very poorly.
With the Roman history just kind of plastered on top of it horribly.
It's just awful. You guys. Like, okay, for any long time, these are long time listeners who have been listening forever. I would much rather watch Artemis Fowl, which is the only episode of this show I never finished. Like, that episode is up. It's available. You go listen to it. I admitted to Garrett, who's my former podcast partner on this show, that I couldn't even finish the fucking movie.
As I said to Mike earlier, I would rather go watch Rebel Moon again than see this Even I would rather watch all of Rebel Moon than watch 20 minutes of this.
I would rather just walk into a police station.
Yeah,
Just be in there.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in a police station
against your will.
See this fucking movie. Oh, it'd always be against my will.
Oh God.
All right, well.
Sorry, everybody.
Sorry, I'm sure it's an entertaining episode, but don't go see this fucking movie. Well, I hope you really enjoyed this episode because we hated this movie like really badly. But I hope it turned into a really fun, entertaining episode. Next week, I don't know if I'm gonna what movie I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna try to get to one next week. Do not hold me to it. I'm not doing this weekly anymore. I'm too busy. It's a good thing though. But don't see this fucking movie. Thank you for listening. Share this. Like it on iTunes. Leave a review. All that bullshit. Whatever. I don't care. I do this for fun. I don't care about any money that I could possibly make on this because I can't. I'm Mike Logan.
And I'm Tarq.
And that was bad.
Awful. And time stop now.